So I grew up in Colorado and was a student at the University of Colorado and was in the business school and was introduced to the concept of microfinance, which is giving small loans to the poorest people in the world to, so that they could start businesses and lift themselves up out of poverty, and found an internship opportunity here in Iganga and signed up. I convinced my sister Leah and my good friend Sally to join me, and we ended up getting on an airplane and coming for the summer of 2008. About a few weeks after we arrived, there was a volunteer who was leaving, and he had been working at this orphanage in town where 160 kids were living. And he used to tell us about the conditions and how horrible they were. That's kind of how I ended up at that orphanage. You walk in and you just see this massive number of kids that are just malnourished and dirty, and no one could go there and think this is okay, that this is how kids should be living.
We were living a life of misery, life of no education.
We could only have one meal a day.
We didn't have any mattress. We didn't have any tables to stand on. We could just sit in the dust.
If I can summarize, it sucks. Life that side was so much bad.
People have known in our communities that are poor that if you present a situation where people are very poor, desperate, and need you, that you will give money. People also learn that, okay, I'll take this for myself. If I make it better, they will stop giving me the donation. So it becomes a cycle and a dependency and a deceit because they have mastered the art of what the donor wants.
It became really clear that it was benefiting a lot of people to have the kids in these conditions. And that was very hard to come to terms with, right? That people could take advantage of so many kids in that kind of a way. So there was a day we were at the orphanage and we talked about, what if we take this on and rescue these kids and start a new home for them? In those beginning months, things started to get really dangerous. I started getting death threats. I became such a risk that my host family actually kicked me out. And that's when Haril just became my anchor, and we became a team.
So that's how Musana started. But I would say there was a lot of God in it because it was a journey of faith. I had no idea about taking care of 80 children, and how to support them. The best solution is not to create more orphanages, but to improve livelihood by helping people to uplift them out of poverty and dealing with the cause rather than the symptoms. So we wanted to see local ownership paves the way for sustainability in terms of life improvement. And that led to the change of Musana from a children's home to a community development organization. And up to today, it has just been amazing to see the growth of Musana with the locals taking ownership and leading the way.
I've been in college for 3 years, and this is my 4th year. I graduate next year, meaning I'm going to get a job.
They have made me what I am now. It's like I'm a testimony to them.
For the time I've been in Musana, I've learned how to share love, how to help others, and to have the heart that serves the community.
Okay, if you could say anything to Andrea and Hareel, what would you tell them?
Wow. Sometimes when people do things for you and you feel you have nothing, you can pay them back. I'm speechless.